to welcome President Barack Obama and Governor Mitt Romney.
I had a question, and the question was, how much did you cut them by?
You want me to answer
How much did you cut them by?
I'm happy to answer the question.
All right, and it is?
Here's what happened.
You'll get your chance in a moment. I'm still speaking.
Well,
And the
Governor,
answer is, I don't believe people think that's the case, because that wasn't a question.
Okay.
That was a statement.
I got to move you along.
He
And
got
the
the
next question is for you.
He actually got the first question, so I get the last question, last answer on that one.
Actually, in the follow-up, it doesn't quite work like that. But I'm going to give you a chance here, Governor. I need to have you both hang up. I understand the stakes here. I understand both of you, but I will get run out of town.
I just described to you, Mr. President. I just described to
you
you precisely how I do it. I went to a number of women's groups and said, can you help us find folks? And they brought us whole binders full of women. Because I recognize that if you're going to have women in the workforce, that sometimes they need to be more flexible. I want you to be able to get home at 5 o'clock so I can be there for making dinner for my kids. I appreciate that question. I just want to make sure that, I think I was supposed to get that last answer, but I want to point out that I don't believe.
I don't think so, Candy.
I don't believe.
I want to make sure our timekeepers are working.
The
timekeepers
are all working, and let me tell you that the last part, it's for the two of you to talk to one another, and it isn't quite as orders as you think. But go ahead and use this 2 minutes any way you'd like to. The question is on the floor.
Mr. President, have you looked at your pension?
Candy?
Have you looked at your pension?
I've got to say.
Mr. President, have you looked at your pension?
You know, I don't look at my pension. It's not as big as yours, so it doesn't take as long.
Let me give you some. Let me give you some advice.
I don't check it that often.
Let me give you some advice. I think it's interesting. The president just said something, which is that on the day after the attack, he went in the Rose Garden and said that this was an act of terror. You said in the Rose Garden, the day after the attack, it was an act of terror. It was not a spontaneous demonstration. Is that what you're saying?
Please proceed, Governor.
I want to make sure we get that for the record, because it took the president 14 days before he called the attack in Benghazi an act of terror.
Get the transcript.
He did, in fact, sir. So let me call it an act of terror.
Can you say that a little louder, Candy?
He did call it an act of terror.
In the nature of a campaign, it seems that some campaigns are focused on attacking a person rather than prescribing their own future and the things they'd like to do. The answer is very straightforward. We can compete with anyone in the world as long as the playing field is level.
I also believe that everybody should have a fair shot. And everybody should do their fair share. And everybody should play by the same rules.
President Obama, Governor Romney, thank you for being here tonight. On that note, we have come to an end.